I am honored to have author Sharon Price with us today to talk about the Spirit program and an event she has coming up. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I want to talk a little bit about a very special program to me. The Spirit program actually started in 2004. I had a health and wellness center here in Maryland on 12 acres, and that's where I first started seeing my clients. The program was written between 2002 and 2004. So 10 books became a national course book called Your Toolbox for Life. And it's a transformational program that changes people from the inside out. It's a mind, body, spirit program. And these were tools that really weren't given to people, when they were growing up, or they mimic behaviors that were unhealthy. So it is a coaching wellness program, but it changes you and balances you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So it's very unique. I'm not only a life coach, but I'm a grief and wellness specialist. And I've been doing my work for many years with people.
Okay, interesting. So, kind of give me, as somebody who doesn't have any idea what all of this is, give me kind of the lay of the land. What first, I guess, who is the person that you find comes to these programs?
I have had people from the ages of 15 to the ages of 88 in this program. It has
Okay.
been run in counseling centers. As a grief and wellness specialist, I worked at a counseling center in Newmarket for years at one of my satellite offices. It was down in Energy Gym in Delaware. It's actually been from a wellness center to a counseling center to a fitness center. There's no one and anyone that cannot use these tools. And it's very hard to put into words. That's why we showcase somebody every year that we give the program to, and they give us permission to talk about their life and how it changed them. And it's different for everyone because everyone's perspective on life is different. It changes your inner perspective because people are so busy trying to change everything outside of them, including the people around them, that they neglect themselves. And this teaches them to focus on themselves, focus on their own life, and focus on changing the things about themselves that they can change. And then their outside world changes tremendously.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing advice. And how you've been doing this program for 20 years. I'm sure you've had over that time period, probably thousands of people that have gone through the program or that you've helped. What are some, I guess, stories that you can share about how this has impacted them?
You brought tears to my eyes as you said it, because I can go back and remember the people that won the program, and people that have come through. People used to drive an hour and a half just to come for a half-hour session. And I said, you can do this by phone. I was doing virtual work and work even before Zoom when it was done by phone because there was no program like it. So I was doing it in other states. But we had the last winner of the program was a young lady who had a daughter. She was a single mom and she started dating someone. And I'm telling her story because we blogged it for a while. And she made an error because I said, if a mistake means I knew better. And if I knew it was going to cause this consequences, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
But her daughter was shy of 16 years old. And the new gentleman she was dating told her to allow her daughter to drive to the store. And she goes, well, I don't want her to do it, but I'm going to go along anyway. So she got in the back seat. They were actually stopped by a police officer. The mother was arrested for this. And she lost everything. She lost custody of her daughter. She went to jail and she lost her home and she lost her house. This program was being just like this big event that's coming up on Sunday, April 21st, 2024. We were about to do a program. Her aunt, who knew me from a social network group, knew she was getting out. I had no idea. We used to do it where you had to write in and tell why you wanted this program, what it would do for you. But instead, I thought it wasn't really up to me to do that. I'd let the universe, I'd let God choose because it really wasn't my place to. And so she brought her to the event that day. The minute she literally drove her to where we were, and she came to the event and she actually won out of all of the people there. and her whole life
Unbelievable.
changed.
Yeah.
She got a job. She got a home back. She got her daughter back. She got her entire life back. By the time we were done with the 12-week program, she had already accomplished all of that and then was being promoted in her job.
Oh
And she
my
learned
goodness.
about, she
She's still
still reaches
sharing.
out. I'm not kidding. It gives me the chills as I talk about it. I'll never forget her,
Yeah.
because she was so young and impressionable. And, you know, I see this in young people who want to please other people or who want to get along. People want to be loved, but love starts with loving yourself, self-care, self-love, always doing the right thing when no one's looking, and teaching yourself that that is how we get ahead, that life isn't always going to stay exactly the way it is. But in order for you to go somewhere and for you to have changes in your life and get to the things you've always wanted and dreamed of, you have to work on yourself. And it really requires that. So I've had other people that told me that, you know, they didn't know that what they were doing now in the program prepared them for the losses they had later, because it takes you through the emotional changes and major losses, whether that's the loss of a loved one or a pet or health or a job. The amazing story is I had two 88-year-olds that were couple that actually paid to come through this program when I had it at a fitness club. And it was amazing because we did this whole event again. It brought them in, they paid for it. And I thought, wow, this is going to be interesting. She was very meek and quiet. And the gentleman was always speaking for her. And, you know, she really never spoke up for herself. And he always took the leadership role. He was like, it was in balance. And then it was interesting at the end of the 12 weeks, he was softer. She was more outspoken, and she had actually set boundaries for herself. It was amazing to see how their relationships improved, and all your relationships improve. So if they're not meant to be in your life because they're not healthy, then they will wither away. But the healthy ones will come in. It'll make a void, and every void is always filled with something better. That's how I look at it.
So I guess kind of looking back a little bit, so you started in counseling. When did you start writing? Was that, did that come first or second? When?
It is the strangest story. I wrote when I was a child, but never realized the path that I was on was going to lead me here. So the first book I wrote was called Set Yourself Free. It is the last book in the course. I used to be a smoker, and it amazes me when I talk about that, being a health and wellness specialist for as long as I have. And I really believe I understand people that struggle with any kind of addictions because of how hard it is to stop just something that other people that have never done it think is simple. And I wrote that book first in 2002. And I then added the other books to it and had them as all singles, and then put it together as a complete program. It just creatively came to me. I thought I wanted to be an accountant. I started in accounting and business, and I ended up working for a publishing company for many years. That was my first career. I thought, you know, it was so interesting. And it actually taught me so much that I know now about my marketing, my sales, being an author. I had no clue. So my life was built. So people can't see sometimes your life is actually building you up for what you have coming in your future. People think they're stuck, and you're not stuck ever. As soon as you make a choice, you get unstuck.
Yes.
So
Agreed. 100% with that. Yes.
Yeah. So about getting stuck, because I want to talk to young people, especially young families.
Yeah, sure.
I meet people that have really struggled in their 40s and 50s and 60s that say, I wish I'd met you sooner. I wish I'd met you years ago. And I said, well, you weren't open to it yet, or it wasn't meant to be. But if you are a young parent and you have children, and you can look back at how you were forced to do things as a child that you didn't enjoy, and you never had a choice, the best thing you can do for your young people, your babies, is give them choices. And when I say choices, it could be as simple as, okay, Kim, what do you want for dinner? Would you like spaghetti or chicken nuggets? And they make a choice. And when they want to dress for school and it's appropriate, you let them pick out their colors or their choices. And it really empowers them. This is what the program does too. It gives you self-confidence. and empowers you in a way that's incredible. One of the books is called Set Yourself Free, and it's all about boundaries. It's all about making choices. So everything from women's health to men's health, to stopping addictions, to emotional imbalancing, to how to sleep better, how to, eat better, how to feel better. It's all part of the 12-week program.
Wow. Okay. So typically it's a 12-week program, and now you've got this one-day event coming up. How is that formulated to fit in kind of with this 12 weeks, or is it a little bit different and it works together?
They actually work together simultaneously. It's a jump start, I call it. And all the material that I'm using this time is brand new. It's from a new book that I'm putting together. It's called Reset Your Brain and Reprogram Your Mind. And that's really how it works. Your brain is like the processor. It's an organ, it's a computer, but your mind can't be seen. It's the intelligent part of you. It comes from your soul. I also say the same thing about the heart. The heart of the soul is not what beats in your chest. It's where your intuition comes from. It's where that, invisible part, how we connect and how we get that gut feeling comes from. And, part of the program teaches that, but we're going to be teaching that day how to, think about yourself differently, how to, get out of negative patterns, how to get out of error thinking, and how to be able to take that and apply it. So everything I do, whether it's a free event in the community, I do them all the time. If anyone sees this segment and wants me to come in and do a presentation, I do one called Coping with Life Changes and Loss. And it helps people tremendously. If I walk away talking to a group and I never get a client from it, that doesn't matter to me. I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose. But this serves a purpose. And this event's also a 2-for-1 because we want people to encourage other people to participate. So you get 2 tickets for $99. You can buy a ticket and bring a friend. It's a hot meal that day. It runs from 10 to 5. Registration's at 9. It's at the Claggett Center. It's the most beautiful setting that you could be in. It's a big retreat center here, right outside of the city of Frederick. It's in Buckystown, Adamstown. And it is going to be a spectacular day, and you'll collaborate and be with other people that are there to learn similar things. And then you have an opportunity to win this package along with every other service I provide. So it equals about $1,000 worth of services and programs.
Amazing. What's the easiest way for people to get their tickets?
For them to remember, the easiest is to go to www.getintothespirit.org. And then you can also go to, both websites go to the same place. They land the same place. But if you remember my name, author Sharon Price, it's www.authorsharonprice.com. So either way, you'll get to it. And you can click on the Spirit Expo and you'll find out more information.
Very good. Well, we will share those websites on the screen when we get this. And we really appreciate what you're doing for people, because resetting people sometimes is a great thing. When you are open to some of those things and you're able to kind of reset your life and change that path, we wish all those people and you the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's an amazing experience when you're fulfilled by watching people's lives change right in front of you, and how proud they are of themselves and how their confidence grows. But it's never too old and never too late, I tell people, to make a change.
I love that. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us today, and I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely.